Coming up at 6, a man died at the Toyota plant in Georgetown after becoming pinned by a truck. And a Virginia state trooper was gunned down in the line of duty at a home in Cumberland County. Plus, Bell County officials are offering to drop warrants on parents with outstanding child support payments if they meet certain goals.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6:02 on Wednesday, February 6th. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning. Brandon has a swath of rain heading your way. He's dialed up for y'all, so let's toss it over to him and let him break it down a little bit better. But Brandon, all jokes aside, we are in a severe weather alert today because we are expected to get quite a bit of rain from our northern counties stretching all the way to our southern counties. So what can people expect as they head out the door today and when they come home from work?
If you're down near I-75 this morning, you're already seeing some heavy bands of rain, but most of us dry as we start your day. It's not going to last all day long, though, so take your rain gear with you as you leave the door or leave out the door this morning. Let's go to the cameras. We go over to the WYMT studio camera here outside of our studios, and not a whole lot to report there. Here's where the action is on Live Pinpoint Doppler radar. We're kind of surrounded, actually, but the biggest bands going on down in the parts of southern Kentucky, down near the I-75 corridor there, near the Kentucky-Virginia border, or Kentucky-Tennessee border there. I'll get my words together here in a second. Temperatures very mild this morning, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Hazard the only holdout, though. Temperatures warmer than yesterday morning, and between iced coffee and normal coffee normal day on the coffee meter. I think I need some coffee this morning. The rest of the forecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
All righty, Brendan, go get the Keurig ready because I'm going to get some after the show. Well, a man is dead after an accident yesterday morning at the Toyota plant in Georgetown. It happened at about 4:15 Tuesday morning near a loading dock. The coroner says a 33-year-old man who worked for Ryder Trucking was pinned between a truck and a trailer while trying to attach them. The man's name has not yet been released. Meanwhile, Virginia State Trooper Lucas Dow was shot and killed during a raid on a home Monday night. The operation was a part of the Regional Drug and Gang Task Force. Police say when they made entry into the home, they were met with gunfire. Two other troopers fired back, killing the suspect. Corey Johnson of Cumberland County. Neighbors say they have never seen anything like this happen in their little neighborhood.
I mean, I just hate it for anybody that has to go through this and wake up and hear this news first thing in the morning. You know, it's terrible. I'm sorry. It's terrible.
Johnson was the only person inside of the home. Police say the search warrant was, quote, being conducted as part of an ongoing narcotics investigation. Well, behind me is the scene from December of 2017. The announcement of Enerblue promised more than 800 new jobs. It was considered a huge win for Eastern Kentucky. However, after financial issues surfaced for Enerblue, a statement from City Manager Philip Ellswick explains to us the project is dead. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher explains how the potential job loss is affecting the region.
More than 800 potential jobs wiped from Eastern Kentucky.
Enerblue has chosen Pikeville, Kentucky to build our lowest cost, advanced high-power battery manufacturing plant.
In 2017, Enerblue announced a huge job expansion for the region. John Thomas, the recently named CEO of Enerblue, says he regrets having to suspend plans for the facility.
Unfortunately, it seems that Enerblue was unable to secure the funding that they felt they would receive to pull this project to fruition.
Chuck Sexton says this is not a breaking moment for Pikeville.
Where others may see negativity or setbacks, I try to find opportunity and ability to move forward.
Jared Arnett, the executive director of Shaping Our Appalachian Region, also known as SOAR, agrees.
You know, you just have to look at it in that with Enerblue, the industrial park was full, so it had slowed the recruiting process down a little bit because they were really out of space.
Arnett says it is up to the people of Eastern Kentucky to push past the setback.
It didn't all hinge on Enerblue, it hinges on us, the people in this region, to keep fighting and make a difference.
Fighting for economic growth. In Pike County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Now we will continue to follow this story, and we will update you as we receive any new information on air and on WYMT.com. Well, state mining regulators say they have issued a cessation order against a local mine after a blowout sent a torrent of water through the Elk Creek community of Buchanan County. The Department of Mines, Minerals and Energy says the blowout happened last Wednesday in an old underground mine owned by CM Mining. The Virginia Department of Mines, Minerals and Energy says it issued a cessation order because of causing imminent danger to public health and safety. Well, Bell County officials are giving parents who are behind on child support a second chance. As of yesterday morning, there were 227 parents with warrants for their arrest in Bell County for being habitually delinquent on payments. Officials say if they set up a payment plan or pay in full the amount they are behind, their warrant will be dropped.
Even though they may be years behind in their child support, they can start now and they'll actually be helping their children.
Parents have until April 1st to contact the Bell County Child Support Office to have their warrant removed. Meanwhile, an Arizona nurse who is charged with sexually assaulting an incapacitated woman was back in court yesterday for his arraignment. Wearing an orange prison jumpsuit, Nathan Sutherland pleaded not guilty in court to charges that he raped a 29-year-old patient in his care at Hacienda Healthcare in Phoenix. Police arrested the 36-year-old licensed practical nurse after his DNA matched a blood sample from the victim's newborn son. Meanwhile, the political chaos continues in Virginia this morning, where many of the governor's former allies are calling for him to step down. The crisis began over a racist photo that appeared in Governor Ralph Northam's yearbook. Tom Hansen has the latest.
Virginia State Senator Louise Lucas used to be an ally. Now she's calling on Democratic Governor Ralph Northam to step down.
I cannot tell you why he hasn't resigned, but I am so praying that he would do that and get it behind us.
A stream of Democrats in Washington agree.
Right now, my focus is on, again, calling for the governor to step down.
When this many of Virginians, and especially kind of leadership Virginians, have lost confidence in him. It's a very, very sad situation.
Governor Northam stayed holed up in private meetings as the pressure builds over the revelation of a racist photo that appeared in his 1984 medical school yearbook. Northam now says it's not him in the photo and has so far refused to resign. The president of Eastern Virginia Medical School apologized to minority communities and ordered an investigation into past yearbook pictures.
Some are shockingly racist, some are repugnant, and others are unprofessional and inappropriate.
Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax is next in line for the office if Northam steps down, but he's been swept up in his own crisis, denying an allegation of sexual misconduct dating back to 2004.
You don't have to be a political genius to understand that this is a complete smear.
His accuser has hired a law firm and is consulting with attorneys on her next step. If Northam resigns, Fairfax would become the second African-American governor in Virginia's history. Tom Hansen, CBS News.
Well, we continue to track rain in the forecast this morning, but as we take a look at the cameras on the major roads across the mountain, starting with US 119, US 23 at Jenkins, it's pretty quiet so far to start the day off. I-64, Moorhead this morning, also pretty quiet. They had a little bit of rain up there earlier, so some wet roads. Be careful if you're traveling in that area. Live pinpoint Doppler radar, kind of surrounded by rain. Lexington, Cincinnati, Louisville all seeing it. Parts of central Kentucky near Danville and down along the I-75 corridor going into Tennessee, starting to creep into the Cumberland Valley as well. Temperatures 49 in Hazard. Everybody else is in the 50s and 60s this morning, so a mild start to the day. Only going to climb this afternoon with southwest winds up to 70, but we see a flood watch go into effect this afternoon for most of the area, and those rain chances ramp up. Will?
All righty. Well, thank you for joining us in Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Still to come, spreading suicide prevention and awareness. One mother is now offering a scholarship in her son's memory. And hoping to keep the county clean, Perry County officials open another recycling drop-off center.